Hi friends, do you want to score very high marks in the UPSC Prelims 2023? Guys, if yes, then this video is made for you. Guys, in this video, I am going to share my secret strategy of scoring very high marks in the UPSC Prelims. But before that, let me tell you why you should aim to score high marks in the UPSC Prelims. Guys, generally what happens that most of the candidates who clear the prelims, okay, they are at the border stage. And since they are in the border stage, they waste around 20 to 25 days after the prelims because they are in the dilemma that will I crack the prelims, will I not crack the prelims. So guys, if you score more than the cutoff, okay, suppose generally the cutoff now is 90 to 95 marks, and if you are scoring more than 100 marks, then you will have the confidence right from the moment, okay, that you come out of the examination hall or in the evening, you are okay, you have the confidence that I am going to write the mains examination, and the next day itself you will start your mains preparation. Guys, I have written 6 mains and I have qualified 4 times mains. So I can tell you guys, it is very important that you score more than the cutoff, or you are getting more than the cutoff, general cutoff of the last year, so you can comfortably start your mains preparation the very next day. Further, if you are aiming for Indian Forest Service, it is very important that you score very high marks in the prelims so that you clear the forestry cutoff also, so that you are able to write the forestry mains also. And guys, I must tell you that Indian Forest Service is a golden opportunity for most of the UPSC aspirants, because guys, what is happening is that because of the competition in the prelims, most of the students who are qualifying for the forestry mains are qualifying with lack of mains preparation. So it is relatively very easy to crack the forestry mains examination. So guys, it is high time that you take the prelims preparation in your command and you give your everything to the prelims preparation and be determined to score very high marks in the prelims. So guys, in this video I am going to share you my secret of scoring very high marks in the prelims examination. Guys, let me tell you something about myself. I scored around 30 marks more than cutoff. I scored more than 30 marks in the more than 30 marks than the cutoff in the UPSC prelims examination in most of my attempts. My average score is around 125 marks, and guys, I can tell you from my experience that it requires very strategic planning. Because guys, the most important constraint you will face in the next 60-70 days is time. If you not properly allocate your time, then you will fail to score very high marks in the prelims. And in this video, I am going to help you allocate the time scientifically and strategically so that you are able to score very high marks in the prelims. Guys, let me share with you some interesting facts. If you observe anyone who is preparing with you in library or in your study circle, if you ask them what are you preparing, 90% the chances they will say that I am preparing polity, M. Lakshmikant, they will say. Or what they will say, I am preparing economy. I am preparing economy from any traditional source. I am preparing. Or they will say what? I am preparing history. I am preparing history, and history also they will say I am reading spectrum. Okay. Very few students only invest time in medieval and ancient India. Very few students, but they might be reading this also. Okay. So if you ask yourself, if you observe any aspirant, and 90% of the time, okay, what they will be studying? These 3 things. Okay, 90% of the time. Let me be very frank. And guys, if you ask yourself, okay, that if you have taken the UPSC prelims before in the last 2 years or 3 years, if you have failed to crack the UPSC prelims, and if you ask yourself, why did I fail in the UPSC prelims? You will see that you failed in the UPSC prelims in the last 2-3 years, not because of polity, not because of economy, not because of history, but you failed because you were not able to solve environment current affairs question. You failed because you were not able to solve science and tech current affairs question. You failed because you could not solve IR current affairs question, which is the map based question. Okay, I must tell you that this is the state of most of the aspirants. Guys, most of the aspirants, what they do, they invest undue time, they invest disproportionate time in these 3 books. And they ignore these 3 areas. Which is the environment, current affairs, the science and tech current affairs, the IR current affairs, and that's the reason they are not able to perform in the examination. Guys, let me share with you some fact. Let me share with you some fact which I have analyzed, and this analysis is nowhere there in the internet, guys, and this is a very unique analysis. Guys, you will be surprised to know that, okay, you will be surprised to know that, okay, from the traditional sources, M. Lakshmikant, okay, and the traditional economy book, and the traditional history book, and here also I am including the traditional environment book, okay, traditional environment book, whether you are reading any book, okay, whether you are reading any book, environment traditional, I am talking about the NCERT and any traditional book you are reading. Guys, if you see the number of questions from these sources, 1, 2, 3, 4, number of questions from these sources were not more than 30 to 35 questions. Not more than 30 to 35 questions. Guys, you know, only 5 questions from economy were traditional, which you can solve using your static book. Okay, other 12 questions or 11 questions you cannot solve using static book, you can only solve using current affairs. Okay, similarly polity, there were around only 8 questions which you can solve through static book. And even in history, if you see, not a single question in the modern India. Only 3 questions came last year, and I don't think not a single question you can solve using only spectrum. Okay, and I'm not talking about here medieval and ancient, guys. And in environment, guys, not even one question you can solve using the static book. 90% of the environment questions were current affairs based. 90% of the environment questions were current affairs based. So guys, just ask yourself, if you have 10 hours in a day, how are you investing your 10 hours? Are you investing in these areas? I'm not saying that these areas are not important, guys. These areas are very important, because if you fail in this area, then obviously you are out of the race. But my only point is that you should not put disproportionate time in this area and ignore this area, because this is the area which will eventually make the difference, because no one is going to miss, okay, any question coming from Lakshmikant or spectrum if he is preparing throughout the year. But now is the time that you start investing time in the environment, in the science and tech, in the IR, okay, current affair based questions, current affair based notes. Guys, here I would like to tell you that most of the aspirants, what mistake they do, they are reading some one type of notes for current affairs. Guys, what is the differentiating factor? There, guys? Let me tell you that this year I have prepared one of the best current affairs compilation on IR, one of the best current affairs compilation on economy, one of the best current affairs compilation on science and tech, one of the best current affairs compilation for the environment and even the geography mapping. Guys, that is going to make huge difference to your preparation, guys. I can tell you, let me tell you, the number of questions coming from this section was, around 15 questions came from the environment current affairs, around 10 questions came from science current affairs, around 14 questions came from IR current affairs. You can see here 15, 14, it's around, okay, 29, 39 questions came from this section, and you see around 35 to 38 questions. You see, these two sections is equal. Just ask yourself, if in last 1 year you have studied 100 hours, how many hours you have invested in these 3 books, and how many hours you have invested in covering these 3 portions, which is the environment current affairs, the science and tech current affairs, and the IR current affairs. How many hours you have invested? Guys, here you have to be very choosy, read very holistic current affairs notes, okay, very holistic current affairs notes, guys, and if you cover this portion really well, no one can stop you from cracking the prelims. And guys, that was the secret. Guys, I have scored very high marks in the prelims because of my command over current affairs. I used to read newspaper thoroughly, and now I am using my skill and making the daily prelims notes, and I have prepared the Optima current affairs compilation, okay, which includes everything which is important in the last 1 year. I have not missed anything which is important, guys. I have not missed anything which is important, and I am very confident that if anyone thoroughly prepares my current affairs notes, then no force on earth can stop him from qualifying the prelims. But he has to be thorough with the notes. The main mistake what candidates do, that they start very late the current affairs preparation, and then there is no time because they are taking mock tests, they are taking many things, and they are not able to invest that kind of time. Here one more point I would like to make here is that, okay, along with this notes, what I am giving is, I am giving you monthly current affairs test. Monthly current affairs test. Okay, monthly current affairs test, 100 question I am giving you every month, and I am also giving you, okay, prelims power play, PPP compilation I am giving you for every month. Okay, so this is more than enough. If you read the Optima notes, if you solve the current affairs test, if you solve the PPP, guys, you will not miss any questions coming from the current affairs, because this is most intensive preparation which can be done as far as current affairs is concerned. Guys, if you like this video, please hit the like button. Please, okay, share this with your friend, because guys, many students, what they are doing is that they are investing disproportionate time in these books and they are ignoring these things, and if they are reading it, they are reading the run-of-the-mill material for current affairs, and in the end everyone is reading the same material and nothing is coming from that material, and in the end you are wasting your precious year. Guys, one attempt also, if you fail to crack prelims, guys, that is a disaster, because whatever you have done, study, editorials, answer writing, test series, everything goes down the drain. Okay, so guys, it is high time that you take a command over your prelims preparation and you commit yourself that I am going to crack the prelims, and let whatever it takes, okay, I am going to do it and I am going to crack the prelims, guys. And guys, I am telling you, I will use all my expertise, all my knowledge to predict as many questions as possible in the prelims examination. Guys, I am doing a series called Predict the Unpredictable, and in that series I am predicting every day 1 or 2 questions which can come in the UPSC prelims. Please follow that initiative. And in my Optima test, I am only giving the important questions. Many students are confused how to select the best test series. Guys, the best test series is a test series which can give you the questions which can come, which have the high probability to come in the examination, and that is the Optima test series. Guys, in Optima test series, I am only including those topics which are expected to come in the prelims examination, guys. And in the last 2-3 years, I have been able to predict most of the topics, and I am very confident that this year also I will be able to predict a lot of questions, because UPSC is a scientific, UPSC prelims is a scientific paper, and if you prepare in a scientific manner, you can also do wonders like I did. Okay, so thank you friends, bye bye, take care.